What is up, y'all? Daji here. I thought about several different ways of doing this video that I'm doing right now. I filmed several different videos. None of them made it to the channel. If y'all lighten up with me, light up, because I don't know if this could really be like a story time or update video or just both, but we just gonna go with it. Y'all, this has been like the worst month of my entire life. Like, as you all know, February is the month that I was going to be making the most content. I told y'all that I had a special project, and that was Roots. I had to stop in the middle of my tracks what I was doing because I had a serious medical emergency in my family, in my house. My dad took sick, and I'm going to share this story with y'all. Also using wisdom and discretion to protect my father's privacy as much as I can, you know, that kind of thing. Today is March 4th. All of this began February 3rd. February 3rd was the first day that I planned on posting the first episode of Roots. But my mom called me. She woke me up and said that she needed me to take my dad to urgent care. I will admit, I did have an attitude because I was off rip, on the go, as soon as I woke up. And if you're new here, if you're not, y'all would know that I did have a surgery. It's about to be a year. I'm coming up at the end of April. I took out my gallbladder, and what I could tell y'all, things have definitely changed in my body a lot. I have to be able to wake up and adjust my body because as soon as the stress starts, you know, all of it activates my stomach. It'd be a bunch of bullshit. Like, so I did have a little attitude, but I still was like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna take care of him, and hopefully we could come back home and I could do what I gotta do and then just post the next day. We get to urgent care. Now, the symptoms that my dad were experiencing were, my mom said that he was dragging his foot and he had numbness in his arm. I don't know why we didn't think like, yo, like he's having, you know, I won't say until, you know, I explain the story, but if you have any ideas, drop it in the comments. We get to urgent care, they do his EKGs, his vitals. His blood pressure was high a little bit. The EKG came out fine. But the doctor was like, you should go to the emergency room because the numbness in the arm is concerning. So, you know, I got an ambulance for my dad because let me tell y'all something. New York City hospitals, it seemed like if you don't come in an ambulance, bro, it's gonna take forever for them to fucking see you. Like, word. We get to the emergency room and they do all his tests. They run a CT, CAT scan, do some blood work, and then they did come back and confirm that my dad had a stroke. God really blessed him because you wouldn't have been able to tell, like, even the droopiness in the face, as they would say, it didn't really show. He was talking clear, all of that. Just the dragging of the foot, his, you know, arm, his hand is numb, you know. They came back later and said, of course, they're admitting him, and he had to have surgery. He ended up having a blood clot in an artery. I won't say where. It's not anywhere inappropriate. Just protecting, you know, it's a spiritual thing, like just protecting. But he had to have a surgery because the artery was 80% blocked. They couldn't take that, you know, chance. So also me explaining this story, these things have already passed. Obviously it's been a month now, all these things are happening. The day of his surgery comes, and that was February 11th. Me and my mom, we just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And actually, my mom ended up deciding to go to the hospital herself to get checked out 2 days before his surgery, so that was the 9th. And they ended up admitting her. My mom, you know, has heart arrhythmias and enlarged heart, and, you know, they needed to keep her because they needed to monitor her. She said, listen, I can't stay here because my husband's about to get surgery. Like, so she signed herself out against doctor's orders, of course. I had two parents, bro, both parents in two different hospitals. But the story gets worse, y'all. Just the story gets fucking worse, bro. It gets fucking worse. Okay, my dad, his day of surgery comes up now. Now these motherfuckers was getting me tight because they was trying to say his surgery was at 7 a.m. type shit. And they was gonna take him down to pre-op at fucking 6:30. And trying to make it seem like we can't come and see him before surgery. Me and my mom bum rushed that bitch like, why are you trying to stress out the patient before going in? Like, not let him see his family, all that type of shit. Like, come on, y'all. Like, our health professionals, I know it'd be a lot on them. It's a lot of stress going on, bruh. But, like, sometimes y'all gotta also think, before y'all put patients under and all this type of shit. I've been through it, bro. I've been through it because when it was my surgery, yo, my surgeon, I should have walked the fuck out. The way this nigga was acting. Word too. Like, we gotta show more compassion. It can't be about the money and the cutting. Word, like that. They did not tell us the extent of the procedure and how long it was going to take. Apparently, the surgery was extensive and it could have taken up to 7 hours. And I was, bro, that day I was bugging. I was like, 7 fucking hours. Like, I had pulled an all-nighter the night before. So I'm running off of no sleep now. I'm like, fuck. You know, he comes out of it. Thank God he comes out of it. My mom and I had separated at one point. I fell asleep in the waiting room because I was doing hour intervals. Like, I was trying to, like, get a little cat nap in. I would go and check in with the doctors to see how he was doing during surgery, like, every hour. So I was taking hourly naps. And she left me in the waiting room. And I'm just like, yo, if something happens right now and they tell me, like, I have to deliver news to you, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to do that shit. She ended up leaving me and I was tripping out, yo. But now I understand she kind of needed a moment for herself, to gather her thoughts, pray for her husband, you feel me, be alone with God. Like, I kind of, looking back, I understand. But me, I was just tripping because I know what it is to deliver bad news to somebody. You feel me? And it is the most gut-wrenching thing I've ever had to do. Speaking on the realities, like, to say, like, if my father didn't come through during that time, like, me delivering that news to her, like, that shit would have fucking broke me, bro. Like, he made it through. I was the first person he saw when he was coming out of it. And I shed my little tear. That was like one of the only two times that I cried around him because I feel like you gotta hold yourself together. Like, my mom has cried silent tears. I think that's what's gonna evoke emotion out of me right now because I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't have a lot of tears left to cry. I maybe do. Whew. Okay, I do. Because I've cried a lot, y'all. I've cried a lot. Whew. Jesus. Jesus. He made it out. And I said, I'm crying my tears, and I said, oh my gosh, you made it out. Like, you did so good. You did so good. I understand what it's like, the grogginess coming out of the anesthesia, like, you just, like, out of it. So I said, nah, I updated my mom, like, he made it out, all that shit. As the time passed, because I know personally, coming out of anesthesia, how long it's supposed to be till you start coming back to yourself. Because I was really lethargic after I came out of my surgery. I was like in and out of it. So it kind of took me a little bit of time. But once he started coming back to himself, and we were trying to talk to him, realized that his speech was slurring. I start, testing myself. Doctors, had brought him in trying to, get him to himself. I go over to one of his sides where the numbness was. And I'm like, can you feel? Can you feel? And he's not, So the entire side went completely like numb. The doctors look a little concerned, and they're not trying to worry me, of course, but they just like, you know what, we're gonna run him down, let him get another CT, and they confirmed that he did have another stroke after the surgery. And that was really tough because from where we were when we came into now, like, it was tough. But one of the most miraculous things that I saw, because Me and my mom, we were like, we wanted to transfer him out of the hospital he was in. And he was like, why don't y'all just stop worrying and stop like stressing? If God want to take me home, he will take me. If it's meant for me to be here, it's meant for me to be here. One of the most, tears are gonna come because besides me being an empath, no matter me in my messed up state and who I am or whatever, like my love for God runs so deep. I just be messed up. Whew. I just be messed up just a little bit. Um, One of the most miraculous things that I saw was when they say Jesus is every breath that you take. He woke up and he's struggling to catch his breath, but in the same way, he said, "Thank God I made it through. It's over. I made it through." That's why I don't care, bro. I got some comments in my, comment sections for videos that I've done, especially on Roots. When we talk about, somebody commented and told me, how can we practice or serve a God that was imposed to us through slavery? Nah. Nah. When you feel God on your soul to know him, nah. You can't convince me, bro. You can't. It doesn't matter. Fight with whoever. You can't convince me because the things that God has brought me out of, bro, you cannot convince me. You can't convince me, bro. Like, no. And from seeing that, you cannot tell me there is no God. You can't tell me there's no God. I don't care if y'all unsubscribe. I don't care if y'all. You can't convince me. About 2 days after the surgery, we noticed like he wasn't really himself. At one point, he started coughing a lot. My dad has a breathing condition. So when motherfuckers be in my comments talking about, oh, you live with your parents, you probably can't smoke, they probably, nah, it's not that. My father has a breathing condition. I'm very, aware of that. Like, and I'm not gonna trigger a cough attack because of what the fuck I want to do. Like, I'll be content with smoking my carts, you feel me? And even if I do smoke, I know how to purify my air. I know how to clean the air so it doesn't happen. You feel me? But I'm just not gonna do that. If I wasn't here taking care of my parents right now, God freaking knows. I don't have to explain myself to y'all because I know I'm eternally blessed for the fact that I stepped up and I'm taking care of my parents and I'm here. So I don't have to explain jack shit. He was coughing a lot that day, 2 days after his surgery. And, after a certain point, they started cleaning him and suctioning him. And my mom and I stepped out the room because I didn't want her to see all that. They came back to us in the waiting room and said they have to intubate him. So now my dad got tubes down his throat and shit. And I'm like, fucking hell, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, shit is getting fucking worse. So my dad was under for a couple days. He was sedated. That's when I became completely numb. And you would think I would question God. Because I'm telling you, this story is going to get worse. Just sit tight, B. Sit tight, because I'm not done yet. Let it cook. I'm not questioning God about none of this. I'm going to just let it play out. But it's just like during that time, I just became completely numb. I didn't want to talk. But my mom did end up giving me a day off one of them days, and that's how I was able to edit and post Medea's family reunion. I'm still grateful that I have a community. Like, we keep it in check. Like, thank you to my patrons. We'll get to that. He was under for a little while, and then the doctors proceeded to tell us another procedure he had to do because, if he stayed under, he could develop pneumonia on his lungs and all of this shit. They ended up doing a freaking bronchoscopy, checking his lungs and doing a biopsy. He did end up getting an infection in his lungs. Damn, this man is going through a lot. The picking, the prodding, and I'm just like, fucking hell. What is going on? So they proposed that he did a tracheostomy. Tracheostomy is when they make an incision in the neck to put a tube to keep the airway open instead of putting the long tube in his mouth that was already there to push the air through from the vent. He is on a ventilator. So they do the tracheostomy. He makes it through that. He finally gets to go back upstairs and I'm like, see? Like, you see what I'm talking about? Look at God. Like, he brought you out. Like, you back upstairs. He started smiling at me and all of that type of stuff. We spent some time. And then, probably like a week, something else was going on. Like, I remember going to the hospital one day and I was trying to talk to him and he was really tired. Like, he was sleeping. And I'm like, something's going on. And I started getting sad. I'm like, Ma, I can't let him see me like this. Like, I'm starting to get sad because he's not talking to me. Like, he just want to sleep. And I'm like, nah, something's going on. My mom and I alternated, so I had another day off. And she went. He was still sleeping, like he wasn't talking to her. And then the doctors told us that he had a GI bleed. A GI bleed meaning he has a bleed in his lower intestines. And he has to go back downstairs and do an endoscopy. And we're like, fuck. So they take him back downstairs. And the blood that was coming out of this man, we were getting so scared. They had to do blood transfusions. His endoscopy happened the end of the month, February 28th. They went in, they said his stomach was clear. So something happened with the tracheotomy. Like, it caused the bleed to turn into a major bleed. So that's probably what was happening, they say. But they cleared out all the blood. He is good. He's stable. Now, you would think it stops there, but it doesn't. The day of the endoscopy, me and my mom are coming home. Now, before I get into this, I have an aunt that lives with us, my mom's sister, that she takes care of. My aunt is mentally handicapped. My mom does take care of her. And we also rent and all that type of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. None of y'all business, but it's important to the story. We're coming home from the hospital, and my next door neighbor runs out and says, something is going on with the lady downstairs. Literally, we're walking to our gate. Our next door neighbor runs out and is like, something is going on with the lady downstairs because we own a house. And I run in the house and I go to my aunt's room and she's in the bed, like, and disoriented, slurring her words. And I'm like, fuck, she's having a stroke. I'm like, yo, you cannot make this shit up. B, you cannot make this shit up. I swear, yo, on my life, I've never seen nothing like this. Never. I've never seen nothing like this. I have to call an ambulance. I'm coming from the hospital and I have to go right back with my aunt because even though my mom is her proxy and her caregiver and all that type of stuff, my mom can't go because, like I said, I already told y'all, she was in the hospital. She's tired at this point. She can't walk no more. I was like, Ma, I'll go with her. I will go with her. My aunt is disoriented. Her body temperature is freezing, like ice cold. When we get to the hospital, they have to warm her up. I have to like grab her. I'm just like, look at me. I'm here. Because, you know, she don't trust people and all that type of stuff. She suffers from like paranoia, all that kind of, you know. So I have to like get her to focus on me so that she doesn't trip out. I got to the point where, you know, after that, they admitted her and I ended up coming home to check on my mom. I was done. So fucking done. The day after, they told us that they intubated her. She has a tube down her fucking throat. She has pneumonia. I won't say why or what, but it's some foul shit at play. That's all I have to say. It's some foul shit at play. And it's some shit that's going on that I cannot talk about for legal reasons, B. But just know my mind was on slaughtering time, yo. Slaughtering time. And I had to pray to God, like, God, please don't make me, like, do something I'm gonna regret, because I can't make no mistakes right now. But woof. Slaughtering time. It's some shit going on. Just piece whatever you need to piece together, okay? But there's only one thing that could get me enraged. Like, this shit is not gonna kill my mom, bro. It's not gonna kill, I'm not. So I was on some slaughtering time and like, my mind was really fucked up. The doctors did say that they were pulling back on her sedatives, and right now she's in a state where she's not waking up. But we're praying for her complete healing. We're asking Jesus to divinely intervene on her behalf. Me and my mom went there today and we were talking to her. It was almost like a Terry service. I'm talking to her. I'm like, open your eyes. We right here. Come on, open your eyes. And she's moving. She's trying to, fight. And she's trying to, but she's not opening her eyes. I know it's some spiritual shit going on. Niggas is trying to do some fucked up shit, bruh. But respectfully, God is going to spin the block. He's gonna spin the block and take care of all of that that's going on. So I don't even have to be on the timing of wanting to slaughter. Whatever niggas is trying to do. You gonna see my dad, he was stable. And then tonight, my mom says she wasn't feeling well. So I had to take her to the hospital. So I have my father, my mother, my aunt in the hospital. 3 different hospitals. Motherfuck. I'm like, fuck, what is going on, yo? I'm so gone, yo. I'm not gonna be okay for a while. But I love what I do here. I love what I do on this platform. And I'm not about to let this stop me. I'm not gonna let this shit stop me. I work too hard. My people that constantly, like, y'all love, your outpouring of love and support really keeps me going sometimes. Like, especially during this time, y'all don't even know. Like, it may seem like I'm just not engaged in all of that kind of stuff, but it's like I'm going through a lot. I have to find the strength to go through this shit, and my body is taking a beating, yo. I feel it. I feel it. Like, I don't even have the time to go to the doctor myself and check on, like, and I know it's motherfuckers on here that don't want to see me prosper, bro. You feel me? The evil shit that's going on, but respectfully, return to Sunday, yo. I come from a praying family. I believe in God. Jesus, to be exact. Because we ain't talking about no other God but the Almighty, alright? I know He's going to bring us out of this rough season. Because though billows roll, He keeps my soul. And my Heavenly Father is watching over all of this right now. That's why I say I'm not questioning God about any of this. I'm going to just let it play out. Because all I could do is just groan. And Bible talks about, I know I'm not in a sober mindset right now, but I'm always going to acknowledge God. Bible talks about just letting your groans, letting the Spirit make intercession for you in the pains, in the sadness, my rage. Like, I'm trusting God. I'm trusting God. Everything is going to work out. I know my comment section is going to be filled with nothing but support, love, prayers, sympathies. And I really thank y'all. I appreciate y'all with the utmost. I don't care about judgment at this point. I mean, I got family members that's on that bullshit, so I don't really give a fuck about internet opinions about shit. God bless. Like, I don't care. I don't care. It may seem like I'm spiraling. I do know that when I have the time, I do need to make the time to see a therapist, because I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. Everything I just explained to you, I've seen a lot. And then more into detail because I'm living it. If y'all could see it through my eyes, yo. But I'm gonna be okay. My mental health is questionable, but I can't make no mistakes right now. And I know God is gonna watch over me. Me right now, I'm medicine and it's helping with the pain too. I usually don't smoke to cope. You understand what I mean? I don't abuse this as if like I'm trying to escape or run from something. You understand what I mean? That's not my purposes of smoking weed. Like, nah. Just right now, it's definitely helping with my pains and my aches and all the running up and down and not getting rest and on go. And it's even more shadier shit behind the scenes because not only during this time I'm seeing true colors of motherfuckers, bro. I'm seeing true colors of people around me, and it's been a lot. This has been a lonely process as well. Like, so again, thank y'all for your prayers, your outpouring of love. It is deeply appreciated. I'm trying my best to get back here. I promise you I'm not gonna quit. I just need things to blow over. I just need a moment to take a break, and I'm not getting that in real time because every day I'm on the go. It's really exhausting. But I'm fighting my way to get back here, I promise. To my Patreon members, thank y'all so much for the support. I know it like I'm trying my best to push out as much as I can when I can. I even sometimes try to drop when I'm in the hospital looking for whoever, or even when my mind is just all the way not really here right now. I'm not myself, but I'm still trying to get the shit out to y'all. So thank y'all so much for your patience and y'all love and letting me come there and letting me vent and You know, I've cried some tears, y'all. Y'all gonna see when I post certain things. Like, so I just did Power. I'm almost done with that, and I'm about to drop almost everything on Patreon. Y'all gonna see tears come out of me. I've been through some shit, so thank you guys for being here. Light and love to the next one. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Ugh.